A block, comes up with a block on Hartman. But you know, this is going to be a crucial stage here for the Philippines, because obviously they've really relied on Gay Freeman all throughout, ever since he was a late addition. And now he's going to be cooling his heels on the bench with 3 personal fouls. We've got 4:52 remaining here in the half, and it's 26-18, the Patriots.
This program is brought to you by AirAsia.com. Now everyone can fly.
Dear Dad, I hope you and Mom are having as much fun as Granny on our flight to Hong Kong.
Granny was so thrilled to take pictures next to the plane. She couldn't decide between the nasi lemak and the nasi ayam, so she had both. She said the flight attendants were hot, but I'm just a child, so I didn't notice. In the end, Granny was so sad to say goodbye, I had to remind her that we had a train to catch.
So, what do you think?
Exclusive sports, exclusive interviews. In the region and globally. It's all on Sports Center. Monday through Friday. Only on ESPN. The sporting action heats up in March on ESPN. Hoop action continues as the NBA teams compete for a place in the playoffs. College basketball comes alive. See budding young stars outdo each other in the NCAA college basketball. One of the most open seasons sees at least 7 teams vying for the top 4 places in the Barclays Premier League. Get down to the lush greens at the RACV Pine Resort, Queensland. Top women golfers show off their putting skills in the ANZ Ladies Masters. Don't miss our top lineups in March, only on ESPN.
2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining before halftime. And so far, so good for the Patriots as we take a look at this head-to-head matchup, Freeman and Hartman.
Look at Gabe Freeman with almost a double-double, but with the foul problems he has to contain himself tonight.
Hartman launches from 3. Bang!
So slowly but surely, Alex Hartman getting hot after missing a lot of shots.
Santa Maria answers on the other end. That's poor scouting there by the Indonesian squad, because Santa Maria killed him from the outside in game number 1.
That's right.
Here's Sonda, trying to take it strong, kicks it outside. Gunawan for 3. Short. Here's Miller, sidestepping. A lot of contact there, but still no foul called. Here's Faisal making his first entry. Faisal is also a fiery player that can hit it from the outside. Foul is going to be called on Nonay Baclao. That's going to be 2 free throws for Miller.
Exactly what the Indonesian squad want. Stop the clock and get some points on the board, courtesy of 2 free throws. As we look at Coach Louis Alas talking and giving extra instruction to his point guards. Like Kea Miller, there's a hint of little frustration in the face of this guy like Kea Miller, who's not really had a good offensive game. Only 4 points, game number 1.
Well, more than anything else, looking at Miller's face, he's frustrated because, he is getting banged around inside.
Yeah.
And I think more than anything else, it's frustration because he's not getting the calls.
That's right. But in game number 1, he got 22 points, only 4 points in almost 20 minutes of play here.
But those are free throws that Miller has got to make.
That's right.
There's Dixon. Puts it in once again, and that is the biggest lead of the Philippines, now at 13.
Going back to work is Jason Dixon. Easy turnaround and spin. Easy 2 points.
A foul is going to be called, and that's going to be, I believe, the first foul on Jason Dixon.
Fouls on number 43, Jason Dixon. That's his first personal.
Well, Miller doing the right thing, taking it strong to the basket. But more importantly, he got the foul. He's on the free throw line. Remember, he missed the 2 previous shots he had. And now he's missed 3 in a row.
But we see the disparity in these 2 players. You see Jason Dixon pounding it in the basket in the left side of the court. On the right side of the court, you see Nikea Miller getting the ball and taking Jason Dixon off the dribble. And Jason not enough speed to keep up with Nikea Miller, who commits the foul. 1 out of 4. That's why you see the frustration in Nikea Miller. Only 5 points to show in the first 19 minutes of play.
And he's a very good free throw shooter. That's why he's looking up to the heavens saying, what's happening to me today? Wainwright for 3. Bang! Well, the locals have picked up the slack.
That's right.
Now that Gabe Freeman is resting on the bench.
Probably a blessing in disguise for Coach Louis Alas. He gets to rest Gabe Freeman, and some guys step up on the part of the Philippine Patriots.
Faisal saves it. He goes to Santa Maria. Here's Ibanez. Wainwright was looking for that pass. He gets it a little bit too late. They go back inside to Dixon. Nice repost. But they will lose possession. Here's Hartman. Over to Miller. Miller can hit it from there. Under 30 seconds to play. Nice look inside there to Gunawan. Gunawan was waiting for that pass since yesterday.
That's good ball rotation for the Indonesian squad. That's why they got the 2 points.
Dixon's double team. Quick movement of that basketball. Santa Maria for 3. That looks offline. It's short. Wainwright. Dipsy do move!
He has been showing us a lot of moves tonight, Anthony.
Look at that. Bringing that basketball down. Dipsy do. Watch it again. Well, we just might not have that replay for you, but still, one of definitely the highlight plays for the Philippine Patriots as that ends the first 2 quarters of action here in game number 2 of the championship series of the GEABL Finals. Let's check in now with Miyaka.
Yes, guys, I'm here with Rob. Rob, now, you have 11 points in the first half, 3 out of 4 in the three-point country. What has gotten into you?
It's the finals. We got time to step up. That's about it.
Now, of course, they're going to step up their defense. They're going to come out more aggressive in the second half. What are you guys planning to do about this?
We keep running our sets. Right now, it's been working. It's been getting me open shots, getting everybody else open shots. We missed a lot of easy buckets. We should be up by more, but we'll come out second half, play hard, just as hard as we did in the first.
All right, thanks, Rob. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Miyaka. Well, you can see Rob Wainwright working overtime there. He could hardly talk to Miyaka because he was definitely winded. Another guy who was winded was Freeman there, making that jumper. He finished with 13 points after the first 2 quarters. Hartman started to get uncorked, knocks down that 3-pointer. But here is the man of the moment, Rob Wainwright, banging it in from 3. The first 2 quarters in the history books. We'll be back to talk things over. It's 41-26. The Patriots on top.
Dear Dad, I hope
Us out will be happy about the fact that he said at the start of the game, and Miyaka talked about this, is he wanted to make sure that Freeman shares that basketball. He wanted to make sure that the locals got into the scoring act. And that's exactly what has happened because 11 points already coming in from Wainwright.
And that's right. And, you know, Gabe Freeman's points did not come from, well, half of his points came from offensive rebounding. And it's a yeoman's job. It's hard work to get an offensive rebound and put it back. And a couple of his points in the first half came from that.
There's Song starting out. Actually, looking at the starting 5 from both these squads, virtually the same, except for Nonoy Baclao and Rob Wainwright. Nikea Miller makes it a basket inside and they cut down that lead to 13.
That's a good move by Nike Miller, who does not demand his double team yet. The bad pass from Jason Dixon.
Nobody there going towards the basket. And it's another turnover, yes, by Mario Wisang.
Mario Wisang was passing to a spot on the court, not really passing to a teammate, expecting that teammate to be in that spot at the same time.
Well, the turnover is a very big factor for Satria Muda Britama in the first 2 quarters of play. And right there, opening up with another turnover. Wainwright thought about it. Quick rotation. Alcaraz looking for space, launches, and misses. It's going to be Indonesia basketball.
You know, Anthony, it's going to be a hard decision to make if you put Rob Wainwright on the same side as Jason Dixon. The attention will be on both those players. Do you guard them from the outside or from the inside? And, you know, the 3 others can feed off the attention these 2 players have been getting.
Here's Gunawan. He has been the man of the moment for Satria Muda Britama. Launches from 3. Looks a little bit too strong. But there's Miller with the offensive board. And nice putback by Gunawan. He's got 10 markers.
That's right. The first player for the Indonesian squad to hit double digits. We expected Hartman or Nikea Miller, but this guy is doing his job.
Well, credit's got to go to Miller there because he had another possession for Satria Muda Britama off that offensive rebound. Baclao looking for another basket. Overshoots. Wainwright for 3. Overshoots as well. And here's Mario Wisang. Over to Sondak. Sondak. There's a lot of banging inside and Sondak doesn't get the call. Almost 2 minutes gone here in the third. A very crucial quarter for both these squads. Ibanez for 3. Short. Mario Wisang will reset the offense. Here's Miller. Thought about it. Launches a 3. That was short.
Trying to get one over Jason Dixon.
Alcaraz. Now to Ibanez. Now to Wainwright. They go inside to Dixon. Goes to his patented jumper a little bit too strong.
It's a very patient offense and very patient defense. A good shot by Jason Dixon. He just didn't get it to go.
Here's Satria Muda Britama. You want to see that ball go through Hartman. He has not touched the ball yet.
A good observation for you. Of course, that's a good observation because Alex Hartman has to have the ball at least half the time. And here, Jason Dixon giving his body. That's why he was able to elicit an offensive foul. And that's going to be only the first foul, offensive foul of Nikea Miller.
You know what? He's actually nursed those fouls quite well because he's been banging bodies inside with Dixon. And only his first foul of the game. Talk about playing excellent defense against Dixon. Wainwright again for 3. Bang! And that gives Gabe Freeman more time on that bench.
That's right. That's exactly right. And you know, it was amid the outstretched arms of Ronnie Gunawan that Rob Wainwright hit that shot.
They're not looking for Hartman at all. Gunawan for 3. And he will get fouled by Espiritu, and it's going to be basket, 3 points, and 1.
Wow. It's a rare 4-point opportunity for Ronnie Gunawan, who has played, well, very well tonight. 13 points in the ball game to lead all the scorers for the Satria Muda Britama team. And a rare opportunity to score 4 points in 1 possession.
That team is up to the task. No, he's not. But Gunawan already with 13 points. And look at the defense of Satria Muda Britama now putting Alex Hartman on Rob Wainwright exclusively. Wainwright rushed that shot. Yes, Gunawan again inside.
Beautiful execution on the fast break. Actually transition. Patriots lapsing on the defensive side.
1-on-1 inside. Dixon overshoots. Espiritu gets blocked. Mario Wisang finds Hartman. Hartman brings it out. His first touch of the basketball.
That's
here.
right.
Well, Hartman getting a little frustrated there. He got a lot of body. And he continues to talk to the referee. Watch it again. Well, there was a lot of body there from Rone Baclao.
Yeah, that's right. The second line of defender, it was not really coming from Rob Wainwright.
Wainwright was
who
clean.
played decent defense. And looking back in the ball game to make his presence felt on the defensive rebounding side. It's Gabe Freeman with his officially with a double-double with that rebound.
And he's hardly played in this basketball game. He's only come in now with almost a 5-minute mark in the third. Freeman there, fouled by Gunawan. That was clean. Hammered him on the head. And Freeman fresh off the bench.
That's right. Very fresh legs, spring legs. And very fresh off the bench. Again, another 2 points for Gabe Freeman. Good execution coming from the Philippine Patriots underneath the basket. The slap on the head and the basket.
What concentration there by Freeman to make that shot. And now the lead is back up to 12.
16 points for Gabe Freeman with 11 rebounds, or 10 rebounds rather. His 6th double-double in 6 games in this tournament.
Miller. Nothing doing. And that was a gimme there for Gunawan. He should have made that basket. .54 remaining here in the third quarter. And the hosts still showing the way, up by 12.
Dear Dad, I hope you and Mom are having as much fun as Granny on our flight to Hong Kong.
Granny was so thrilled to take pictures next to the plane. She couldn't decide between the nasi lemak and the nasi ayam, so she had both. She said the flight attendants were hot, but I'm just a child, so I didn't notice. In the end, Granny was so sad to say goodbye, I had to remind her that we had a train to catch.
So, what do you think?
Quiet everyone. Answer this pop quiz. What is Castro Football Crazy made up of? Is it A, Jamie and Henry?
He's Henry Golding, I'm Jamie Owens.
B, football and entertainment?
What's next?
Or C, all of the above? Make the right pick and be rewarded with fun, joy and excitement. You know the answer, so make your choice now.
Scintillating action awaits you in March on Star Sports. This season's FIA Formula One World Championship marks the return of one of the kingpins in the racing circuit, Michael Schumacher. Giant killing has been a trend since the introduction of the FA Cup. Will there be more slaughtering this season? Fabio Capello prepares for the FIFA World Cup as his much improved side take on Egypt in an international friendly match. League champions from around the Asia region square off in this season's AFC Champions League. All this top action in March, only on Star Sports.
Coach Victor Roaring there of Satria Muda Britama talking to his imports, trying to keep their heads in the game. As you can see, he's had an illustrious playing career, and his coaching career also has been very stellar. 5-time IBL champion. You can see there 2004, 2006 to 2009, among others.
You know, I had the opportunity, the rare opportunity to play against Coach Roaring back in the day, around 1999, 2001. And I remember him to be a really good defender, and he would go up against the best offensive players against our team, and their best offensive player. And I'd like to say hello to Romy Chandra. He's his teammate, probably is watching the game tonight.
Oh, definitely cheering over there in Jakarta. Kaya Miller gets it inside, and very quickly a foul on Jerwin Gacko. But you've got to like the strategy now of the Patriots. Now not letting Jason Dixon handle Nikea Miller, letting him be the second man coming off the doubles.
That's right, and you know, all they have to do, the Patriots, all they have to do is just play good defense, decent defense, and keep on doing what they're doing. They're in a good situation to win game number 2. But the problem is with this Indonesian squad, they have to find what they have to do to win the ball games, especially the little things. And we see Alex Hartman frustration getting the better of him right now.
Well, a foul is going to be called on Hartman. That is his first. Still a 12-point lead enjoyed here right now by the Philippine Patriots.
Really a manageable lead if you're an Indonesian squad. Only 12 points.
And obviously they came back from a bigger deficit in game number 1.
That's right, and to lead.
Nice defense there. Here's Sondak in the open court. Over to Hartman. Hartman with a stuff. Nice extra pass there by Sondak. I thought he was going to take that in all the way.
Yeah, that's good execution on the fast break for Sondak. Now one and Hartman.
They swing it over. Freeman left open for 3. Nice stop there from the back by Alex Hartman. That should have been an offensive rebound by Jason Dixon. Hartman over dribbles.
Coach Louis Alas gets the ball. And we were talking about the little things at halftime that the Indonesian squad have to do. They have to out-hustle this Patriots team, and, you know, they have to show it tonight.
Miller trying to take it strong. Risang for 3. Bang!
And, you know, every time this Indonesian squad passes the ball around, they get a good shot.
And they have good shooters.
They have good shooters.
You've got to, I guess, let them in, hit them in their spots. On the other side, Freeman take the pass. And look at that. When he elevates, he's unstoppable.
Too easy for Gabe Freeman, who was just like he was floating in the air for his 18th points of the ball game.
49-40 is our official tally. 2:30 remaining in the third. We're now on for 3. Short. Nice put back there by Sondak.
One of the few opportunities for Sondak to get a rebound over Gabe Freeman. Right place at the right time.
And it looks like Coach Roaring has gone exclusively to this 5. Dixon faking. 2 minutes to go. Freeman faking again. Elevates. That time doesn't go in. Here's Sondak on the outside, waiting for teammates. Miller thought about it. Miller puts his head down, puts that basket up, and doesn't get it.
Too many white shirts inside for Nikea Miller to handle. Almost got the shot though.
Gacko over to Dixon. Dixon short. And now Dixon getting a little bit frustrated because he is now getting banged around inside. As he continues to talk to the referees, we will step back and take a break. 1:26 remaining here in the third quarter. It's 49-42. The Patriots still up by 7.
This program is brought to you by AirAsia.com.
A good-sized crowd we have here inside the Phil Oil Flying V Arena for game number 2 of the GABL Finals. Let's check in now with Miyaka.
You know what, guys? After the team huddle before the game, Gabe Freeman actually stood up and told his teammates that they have to expect a very aggressive Satria Muda because this game is very crucial for them because if they win this, it is going to be a momentum kicker for them. And when they come home, now Coach Rui also added that Indonesia is actually very good once they're able to execute their offense. But right now, he said he can't complain because the guys are up right now. Guys, what do you think?
Well, we definitely think that, yes, things are looking good as far as the hosts are concerned. But that's not a really good foul there by Coronel. That was right in front of the referee.
That's right.
An easy call for the ref.
We saw that coming, and it's a good call by the refs.
A minute 16 remaining. Satria Muda Britama still within striking distance. Hartman for 3. That's short. Here's Freeman. Nice pass in the corner. Coronel cannot buy a basket. And the foul is going to be called on Gunawan with that push.
That's going to be only his second foul for Ronnie Gunawan. Actually, his 4th foul. The only guy who's been played well locally for the Indonesian team gets his 4th personal foul. But you know, the ball was going in the direction of Nikea Miller, or rather of Alex Hartman, so really no use to foul Jason Dixon underneath the basket. Actually a freebie for the Philippine Patriots.
Exactly. You now give the Patriots another possession. Under a minute left to play. Espiritu for 3. Bang! Hartman looking to get it back quickly. Doesn't get it. But he will head to the line for 2 free throws.
And that's the aggressive play you want to see from Alex Hartman. Without the defense being set, he can attack. You know that he loves to play in the open court. That's his specialty. But earlier, Anthony, he missed 2 free throws. And, you know, him and Nikea Miller, between them, they missed 5 or 6 free throws. And if you look at the score, the Patriots are only up by 10. If they made their free throws, they'd be up by 5. And now only by 4.
Exactly.
So we're talking about again and again the little things that the Indonesian team has to do. They have to be quicker to the ball. They have to deny the offensive rebounding of Gabe Freeman and Alex Hartman again, missing another free throw.
Those are free throws that when they travel all the way back to Jakarta, they're going to be thinking about if they don't come up with a W here. Dixon faking the pass and look at that, throwing it to Coronel. Coronel with the looper. Doesn't get it.
Jerwin Gacko with a little acting will not get the Oscar award. Trying to sell a foul from the referees to the referees, but he did not get it.
And look at this. Gabe Freeman is watching Hartman. I'm not sure if Miller knows that they've got only 7 seconds. Sondak gets blocked.
Still enough time, 2.8 on the clock.
And Faisal, this guy's a very good shooter from the outside. He's going to try to come in. There's Faisal and Priantono coming in, and I'd like to see Hartman get that ball and take it straight to the basket, because remember, Freeman's guarding him right now.
And he's got 3 fouls.
Priantono for 3. Overshoots. Well run play as far as Indonesia was concerned. That's exactly what they designed. They ran it, just didn't make the basket. 3 quarters. Over here as we take a look at some of the highlights. Freeman, fresh off the bench, hits the basket and 1. Gunawan steals one again inside. And look at that looper. Very difficult to stop as Gabe Freeman. He's back in action. And it's 52-43. The Patriots with the lead.
This program is brought to you by...
Well, some of the beauties in the house watching this ball game. This is game number 2 of the GEABL Finals between the Philippine Patriots and the visiting Satria Muda Britama from Indonesia. Well, a good-sized crowd here once again, and there on the edge of your screens you see team owner Mikey Romero of the Philippine Patriots. Still with a pensive look on his face. He's not really comfortable because, remember, his team had an even more comfortable lead in game number 1, and they lost that lead. So they did win the ball game, but right now, entering the final 10 minutes of play, they've got a 9-point advantage. As we take a look at some of the numbers of Naikea Miller.
Well, at least in the rebounding department, Naikea Miller did his job. But, you know, the field goals, only 3 out of 16. Struggling big time with this guy. That's why a while ago it was like he was praying already because his shots wouldn't fall.
And, you know, actually, I saw them here early, about an hour and a half before the game, and he was taking shots from the outside, and he was bricking them. And he had a smile on his face wondering, why were my shots like this? Well, you know what? There are times like that wherein, you know, there are days that your shots just won't fall.
That's right.
And maybe today's that day for Naikea Miller. Unfortunately for Satria Muda Britama.
But the good news for Satria Muda Britama, it was their most productive quarter. 17 points in the third quarter. Only 11 for the Philippine Patriots. As you see, Alex Hartman hits his third 3-point shot.
Well, that's what he's known for, hitting those threes in succession. And the lead is down to 6. Freeman says, I'm going to take over right now. Coronel for 3. Bang!
Only the first 3-point shot for Christian Coronel. No one really expecting him to launch that shot, but he does and makes it.
Sito Morong in the ball game. And look at Coronel really hounding Wisang. Safely gets it over to Miller. Shot clock is at 9. Sito Morong's got to make his move. Here's Priantono.
Another turnover for the Satria Muda Britama team that really has debilitated their offense, so to speak.
And now they've got to play defense once again. Coronel for 3. Not that time, and look at that. Hartman and Miller conspiring for that board. Miller tries to look for space, doesn't get it. Not a good shot there by Indonesia.
Every
That
time
was going to be fouled.
That's right, but every time in the Indonesian squad, once they take the shot early in the shot clock, it's probably not a good shot because they need to move the ball around. They need to make the defense of this powerhouse of Philippine Patriots team work a bit before they get a shot. And then we've seen it, at least in the first half of play, when they move the ball around, they get decent and very open shots.
Brand new 24-second shot clock. That's why they will reset their offense. Here's Freeman against Hartman. Drops it over to Dixon. Nice defense there, but the ball will fall, and a foul is going to be called on Hartman. And look at Hartman. Hartman and Freeman jawing at each other, saying, look, you know, we were both actually pushing and shoving. Why are you calling a foul on me? 7:41 remaining here in game number 2. And again, the Patriots establish a double-digit advantage.
Dear Dad, I hope you and Mom are having as much fun as Granny on our flight to Hong Kong.
Granny was so thrilled to take pictures next to the plane. She couldn't decide between the nasi lemak and the nasi ayam, so she had both. She said the flight attendants were hot, but I'm just a child, so I didn't notice. In the end, Granny was so sad to say goodbye, I had to remind her that we had a train to catch.
So, what do you think?
Usher in a new year of abundance. ESPN wishes all our viewers a happy and prosperous Year of the Tiger.
Get ready for explosive action in the Premiership.
In for the kill. Torres!
It's all about goals. And nothing but goals. Every Thursday on ESPN.
The sporting action heats up in March on ESPN. Hoop action continues as the NBA teams compete for a place in the playoffs. College basketball comes alive. See budding young stars outdo each other in the NCAA college basketball. One of the most open seasons sees at least 7 teams vying for the top 4 places in the Barclays Premier League. Head down to the lush greens of the RACV Pine Resort, Queensland. Top women golfers show off their putting skills in the ANZ Ladies Masters. Don't miss our top lineups in March, only on ESPN.
7 minutes and 41 seconds remaining here in game number 2 of the GABL Finals. The Patriots showing the way right now, boasting of an 11-point advantage. Freeman back in the action. And with that foul on Gabe Freeman after the basket went through the hoop, it's going to be another possession here for the Patriots. Matchup there. Hartman against Freeman. Look at that. The defense has draped all over Freeman, and he still made the basket.
All right, 20 points for Gabe Freeman again. Maybe not as productive as we see another steal by Christian Cornell. Easy layup, and the lead is ballooned again to 15. Oh, you were talking about Gabe Freeman, maybe not as productive as the 39-point output, but still very deadly in this game number 2.
Well, he's really picked his spots more than anything else, allowing the locals to do their thing. But at the same time, when he knows push comes to shove, he's trying to do something. Gunawan there gets rejected, and there's just so much action going on inside that paint. Lead is now up to 15. They're giving them a brand new 24. Miller up against Dixon, loses possession. Dixon with a steal, trying to play guard.
And that's the only way you can stop Jason Dixon. It's like a train. It's going to be a foul on Sondak. It's a very, very wise foul in my book.
Mario Wisang quickly comes back into the game. They need his quarterback in chores. Dixon on the line for 2 free throws. And he's been steady from there.
Anthony, this is really a crucial stage for the Indonesian squad as we see the lead balloon. Can they respond back at the offensive juggernaut of the Philippine Patriots? Because 6:40 to go with a 16, 17-point lead. Now is the time to make their move. A little more time with a 17-point lead, then you don't have a chance anymore. So you look at this 2 or 3 minutes into the ball game, and you see if they can chip some of the points off the lead of the Philippine Patriots. If not, it is an open ball game. When they're going back, they will be more than willing to go back to Indonesia.
Well, a very poor foul there by Gabe Freeman off that steal. You don't want to take those kind of chances. You don't want the referees to be able to call the whistle. Look at the defense being put up there by Cornell and Wisang. Sonda kicks it out. There's Gunawan for 3. Oh, that rimmed out. And a duty foul there by Wisang.
Rob Wainwright still wanting to get the end one situation, will not be that lucky tonight. Not as lucky as he was in the first half of play. Of course, a while ago, Wainwright with 11 points in the first quarter, only a total of 14 right now. And that's the strength of the Philippine Patriots. In the first game, we saw Erwin Santa Maria playing the role of that person, of that player who would come off the bench and score the most points for the locals. And tonight, definitely it is Rob Wainwright, hits his 2 free throws, ends up with 16 points with some more time in this ballgame.
That is a huge contribution from the team captain of the Patriots, Ikea Miller. Puts his head down and takes it right to the basket. And right now, I think the Philippines will be very happy to trade baskets with Satria Muda Britama.
Well, definitely not in a hurry to execute.
Nice put back there by Jerwin Gacko. As Jason Dixon complains that Ikea Miller actually got him on the arm.
I felt that he really was fouled. Turns out to be a blessing in disguise again.
Miller for 3. Overshoots. And Gabe Freeman gets that board. He's got to get it past the timeline.
Actually 13 rebounds with his 20 points is Gabe Freeman.
Look at all that movement inside the paint. 1 and out. Here comes Satria Muda Britama. They need a shot. Mario Wisang is free on the other side. They don't find him. Miller takes it in. And a very quick timeout called here. Timeout on the floor. 4:47 remaining. Still a 17-point bulge enjoyed by the Patriots.
This program is brought to you by AirAsia.com. Now everyone can fly.
Dear Dad, I hope you and Mom are having as much fun as Granny on our flight.
Take a look at Gunawan and Wainwright, and their numbers virtually even, except for the 9 rebounds here by Gunawan.
Yeah, but Wainwright was not really expected to score so much points, and then he comes off the bench and really is hot. It opens things up for both Freeman and Dixon underneath the basket. And look at the score right now. It's a 17-point lead, courtesy also of Rob Wainwright for the Philippine Patriots.
A lot of banging, jostling. Gunawan there. Trying to double. Freeman kicks it out. Wainwright for 3. Overshoots. Here comes Hartman. Not the best of passes, and the reception also was poor.
You know, Christian Coronel had a free shot at the head of Mario Wisang. Some action, some battle going on.
West Gacko puts it up. We're looking for a decision. It will stay with the Patriots. Well, Mario Wisang talking to Warren Ibanez saying, you know, I was getting hammered there. No calls.
That's right, and we saw it. I saw a couple of things happen. But that's basketball. You have to play on. You know, you just can't go up to the referee and say, hey, why didn't you call the foul?
And at the same time,
play on.
When you play a home and away format, you know, the home team will almost always get the call.
That's the 6th man. That's what they call the 6th man.
Look at that shot there from Gabe Freeman. Once again, with Hartman draped all over him, he still knocks down that three.
That's right. 23.
They've got to go to Hartman now. Finally they do. He comes up short though.
Wainwright thought about it.
And once again, the Philippines knows that this game is practically in the bag.
That's right. They're just waiting for the possessions, making the most out of the possessions here. As we see a zip-do from Jason Dixon
Going to the left hand.
adding some insult to injury, probably to carry on to the next game. For sure, the Indonesians will play a better game at home. And they always have, right?
Yes, they do. They
always
love
have
playing at Satria Muda Britama. Oh, K. Miller makes that steal. The toss to Hartman. And look at the defense. That really encapsulates the tremendous effort put in by the Patriots. The smallest man on the floor breaking that up. It is a 3-on-1 break.
That's right. You know, nothing going right here in the fourth quarter for the Indonesian squad. You know, earlier in the third quarter, Anthony, it was a 17-11 quarter for Indonesia. We thought we would have had a ball game, but suddenly in the fourth, the Patriots, led by, again, Gabe Freeman and, of course, Rob Wainwright, made this ball game a 22-point lead.
Well, now the starters are being pulled. Miller's on the bench, Hartman's on the bench, Wisang is on the bench. On the other side, Jason Dixon and Freeman, their work is done.
Their
Game
work
number
is
2.
done.
Well, the starting point guard, Warren Ibanez, is still in. And it's going to be a win once again for the Philippines. And they have again taken care of home court advantage.
Still
Still clean.
Still unbeaten, yeah. Immaculate record here at home for the Philippine Patriots. Of course, some of the players of Coach Louis Alas will come in. Santa Maria, who in game number 1 was one of the stars, shown.
Well, you saw the numbers there, 23-12. Freeman and Hartman. Nice basket there by Priantono. He's one of their streak shooters. But a little bit too late for Satria Muda Britama. They came in here with a pretty good game plan here, Peter, but I guess just too much firepower once again with the Patriots.
You know, the 33 or 34 minutes, they played well for 34 minutes, but they just really let it go here to a much stronger team who's playing at home, behind the fans and behind all the comforts of home. And naturally, of course, the Philippine Patriots should win these first 2 games.
Take a look at the resume of Coach Louis Alas. Played for the Adamson University Falcons. And his coaching career, he has won so many championships. And looking to add to that resume here is an ABL championship.
And the first, which must be sweet.
Faisal puts that one up, will miss. Galang coming in for the very first time. Faisal, back-to-back misses. Priantono with the board. 40 seconds remaining. It's going to be a foul in Santa Maria. He was the spark plug in game number 2, actually game number 1.
That's right.
And passing that on, that mantle on to Rob Wainwright here in game number 2. Short that time is Priantono. And Wainwright, Ibanez, Baclao, Espiritu, and Santa Maria.
Some of the players here, of course, if you're Indonesian squad, all you have to do is regroup. You know, take one game at a time. As you see the second dying away, team owner Mikey Romero applauding the effort of his guys.
24 second shot clock violation.
Well, they had to put that one up because there was still a difference between the game clock and the shot clock. And now the final 2.6 seconds remains. Priantono launches, will miss. And that is the end of game number 2. A convincing 72-53 decision by the Patriots over the visitors, and now they have a commanding 2-0 lead in their best-of-5 finals. As you said, it was a well-played game, really, all throughout. Unfortunately, just too much firepower for the Patriots.
That's right. 3 quarters will not be enough for the Indonesian squad to get a victory over the Philippine Patriots. And you know, as we look at the final score, it really is not indicative of how the game played for the 3.5 quarters.
But still, it's a win nonetheless for the Philippines. They'll take it as we take you over to Miyakalim.
Yes, guys, I'm here with our best player of the game, Rob Wainwright. Rob, we were talking about local support a while ago, and obviously you have set up 16 points in this ball game today. What do you think of your team's performance?
We played well in spurts. We broke away at the end, but we still really didn't play a really solid game. We just got, the home court advantage helped us out a lot. So we got to get our stuff together because now we got to go play at their home court.
That's right. So speaking of their home court, you guys are playing in Indonesia for Game 3. How does that change your game?
Well, again, we're just going to go out and play hard. There's 2 baskets in the court, so, shots are the same. We take the same shots here and there. We just got to hope they go in there.
All right, thank you, Rob. And I'm also here with the winning coach, Coach Louie Alas of the Philippine Patriots. Now, Coach, I'm going to ask you the same thing. You were talking about your players should extend and commit, extending help. So what do you think of your team's performance?
Exactly what I've said. Done. Well done. Well done.
All right, now, Coach, you guys will be traveling to Indonesia for Game 3. How does that change your game?
We have to have a good mindset going there, because remember, we only win 2 away games, so this will be the very, very big game, away game, so we have to get it.
All right, thank you, Coach Peter, and Anthony, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Miyaka. You know what? Listening to Rob Wainwright and also to Coach Louie Alas, you can see that tinge of caution. As far as they're concerned, you know what? They've got a commanding 2-0 lead here, but still, they're very wary of Satria Muda Britama.
It's a cross between being cautious and being perfectionist, because they, like Rob Wainwright was saying, they were not really, it was not enough for them. They felt that the home court advantage helped them, but they really did not play a good first half. Or at least there were sections of the first half they didn't really perform well. But it was just good that Indonesia wasn't able to capitalize on that.
Well, right now, let's check back in with Miyaka.
Yes, guys, I'm here with the owner of Philippine Patriots, Coach, with the owner of Mikey Romero. Now, sir, you guys have a 2-0 commanding lead in this series. Now, what did you think of the game?
I think the guys really did their homework, and kudos to our coach Louie Alas and the rest of our locals who now stepped up. Not only the imports today, especially Rob Wainwright. It's a spectacular win for the Philippines.
Now you guys are going to be traveling to Indonesia for Game 3. What do you think are chances of closing in the whole, league?
It's so hard to close such a semi-finals run. The closing out is always the hardest, so we have to dig deep. We cannot rest on our 2-0 lead right now and try to finish it as much as possible this Sunday. The point of no return.
All right, thank you, sir. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Miyaka. So obviously they want to be able to close it off in 3, because they're very worried that if you allow Satria Muda Britama to come back with a win in game number 3, that momentum just might carry them to a win in game number 4.
Yeah, but first and foremost, Mikey Romero, he's been through a lot of battles, and he knows how to win, and he knows that the hardest part is closing out the game. But the good part for the Philippine Patriots is that they have 3 tries. They have game number 3, they have the 4th game, and of course, they have been immaculate. They have had an immaculate slate here at home for them. So, chances are they have a really, 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 really good chance of winning this first ABL tournament.
Well, before we let you go, let's take you back to everything that happened in the entire 40 minutes, starting out with the first quarter of action. And Gunawan starting off scoring. Look at this great passing all throughout. With that long 2, Gunawan knocks it down. Rob Wainwright coming off the bench, helping out the cause of the Philippine Patriots almost immediately, knocks in that three-pointer. And their main man offensively and defensively has been Gabe Freeman here with a defensive board and putback. They take him out to second quarter action. And it's Hartman starting to get hot, knocking it down a three-pointer. And coming off the bench once again, Rob Wainwright there with a three. And now, with the offensive board and a dipsy-do move to end up scoring in the first 2 quarters of play. Second half action. We have Hartman knocking down a shot from the outside again. Actually, that was Gunawan there with that rare 4-point play opportunity. And Freeman there inside. On the break, nice passing, punctuated by a Hartman dunk. And in the fourth quarter, look at this. The guy who's supposed to be an enforcer gets a foot back inside. That's Jerwin Gacko. And then their main man inside that paint, Jason Dixon, comes up with a twinner. And just for good measure, Gabe Freeman leading the scoring. Knocks down that three-pointer with a man in his face. And so, we bring you now game number 3, which is going to be happening on Sunday. But before game number 3, the adjustments that have to be made by both these teams.
Of course, there's adjustment has to come from the Indonesian squad. They have to play against a team that will be traveling, maybe tired, and the crowd will be behind them. Of course, they salvage a little pride from today's ball game and come out, with confidence and believe that they at least have a shot of winning 2 games at home.
What about the Patriots? When they travel over there, do they have to really be as cautious as they sound here so far?
Definitely, because you know that they have a high respect for this team. Coach Louis Alas, I've talked to him again and again, and he is so weary of this Indonesian squad.
Well, in behalf of my partner, of course, here, Peter Martin and Mia Kalem, this is Anthony Sutay saying thank you very much for joining us. Game number 2 of the GABL Finals is in the books. We'll see you in game number 3. Goodbye from Manila, Philippines.